In this ad, Bruce Springsteen drives to a chapel in rural America to light a candle. Hey friends, welcome to the channel. My name is Steven. I'm a brand strategist working for an ad agency in Toronto, and on this channel, we examine and analyze advertising in close detail. In this video, we'll be analyzing Jeep's Superbowl ad from last year featuring Bruce Springsteen. If you haven't already seen it, you can watch the full ad at the link in the description below. The intended effect of this ad is to reassure Americans of their united national identity. It's intended to raise spirits and remove doubts and fears. It acknowledges other common identities of today, red, blue, servant, citizen, but takes the view that a collective national identity is more important for the future. In the ad, Bruce Springsteen is shown driving to the center of the country, or as some know it, the place with no Wi-Fi. It's a metaphor for others to come to the middle, politically or otherwise, and to find common ground. He speaks with a soothing, healing tone. Jeep executives said Springsteen was perfect for this because he embodies the iconic, rugged, authentic American. He's probably best known for Born in the USA, a song which could be understood as a Vietnam War veteran's identity crisis after returning home from the war. It's also been said that he helped to pioneer Heartland rock in the 70s, so it works for this ad where the setting is the heartland, the middle of America.
The middle has been a hard place to get to lately. Between red and blue, between servant and citizen.
Use of the word servant here is a reference to government, a civil servant. It's a precise use of language to describe government in a diminutive sense. Servants are to serve their citizens. They work for the people. They could have used leaders or officials, but servant fits better here because the audience of this ad are those who are more likely to be skeptical of government. This also helps protect political leaders from Karen. The target audience of this ad are those who are going through a recent disappointment after the 2020 election. The advertisers knew who needed the healing message, the Republicans who just lost the White House. As well, the setting is often a clue of the intended audience. We're not shown much urban life here. Many who live in cities take public transportation, a taxi, or an Uber to get around. They don't really drive Jeeps. Also noted are the many appeals to national pride. The cowboy hat and boots, the white picket fence, the US flag, the crosses, and the chapel. These are symbols of Americana. You couldn't make it any more American unless Bruce got out of the Jeep, lifted the hood, and pulled out an apple pie. These are what we think of when we think of the tried and true American identity. Now, why would they use a 1980 vintage Jeep instead of a 2021 brand new model? Well, the Jeep is an American icon. In World War II, it was one of the primary vehicles for the US military and its allies. President Eisenhower once said, "The Jeep, the Dakota airplane, and the landing craft were the three tools that won the war." They have the cred, and they're a nostalgic symbol for that. They have a history, a legacy tied to American freedom. So it's more about Jeep representing something that's timeless, and you don't go with the latest model when you're making an ad about timeless American icons and enduring American values. There's an iconic Jeep, and this is an ad that called for an iconic Jeep. As for the imagery, there are repeated images of light peeking through tree branches, this spinny thing, and a grassy pasture. Similarly, Bruce is shown lighting a candle in the dark chapel, and in one of the last lines of the ad, he says, "Our light has always found its way through the darkness." When imagery or language is repeated and forms a pattern, it's called a motif, derived from French meaning pattern. Now this motif and the end screen, which reads "To the Reunited States of America," are intentionally ambiguous. This ad was released 3 months after the 2020 US election, so some people may interpret this to mean we were in a dark time and now we've come out of it. We're out of the shadows and now we're reunited. It's foreshadowing optimism. But it could equally be that they're setting an ideal to the dream of a coming reunited States of America. It's a hopeful wish to the future where one day America can be reunited again. In summary, this ad works by resurfacing an identity for the US heartland. Freedom, religion, Bruce Springsteen. These symbols work to reassure viewers of the endurance of the US national identity. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this analysis, you'll like this video where we analyze another Super Bowl 55 automotive ad featuring Will Ferrell.